I loved the movie. I just saw it last night and I was cracking up our whole theater. It's amazing, truly. And I love the energy that both of your characters really bring. So I wanted to start with a question for both of you on just the way that they have this opposites, but they also really bring out the best in each other. How was it creating this chemistry on screen together?
We were lucky we didn't know each other before. I mean, I've obviously been aware of Billy for a long time, but we kind of got to know each other during the filming. And that's always a really nice thing because we're both very curious people and we were asking all the sort of biography questions that you would do when you meet anybody. And there's a certain joy in that. And also that kind of mirrors what happens when people are falling in love. So that worked out well for us.
Yeah, I mean, rom-coms, no matter how good the script may be, they live or die based on the chemistry of the two leads. And I'm very lucky Luke walked into the room. We auditioned so many great actors, but maybe because we didn't know each other well, there was a certain mystery, a certain spark there. Our characters got to discover each other as we were discovering each other as people. And we ended up inserting like details from our lives, from our early conversations into the script. It just made it fun. It made it sexy. It made it real. But also, chemistry is a hard to define thing, so we just got lucky.
I love what you brought up. I mean, I wanted to ask about that. I know that there's a lot of aspects of your personal life that kind of went into it. And to Luke, you specifically, I mean, I know there was your love for country music and your Hallmark movies that are in there and the little nods. So what did this character mean to you to play this role?
Well, the Hallmark movies were actually added before I was ever involved.
Strangely enough,
because he's a fan of pop culture, and the fact that Hallmark is getting referenced in this way is a sort of kudos to them. I think that they've seeped into our popular culture in that way. It was really important. I think mostly the aspects of Aaron that I really identified with, especially at the beginning of the film, or is the way he uses his masculinity as a sort of weapon or a sort of way to keep people away. He both wants to attract people, but doesn't let them get too close. And I can certainly relate to that in my own life for sure.
I love that. I love that the Hallmark was already there. It was truly meant to be. But
I've always said you can't spoof something unless you're also at home watching it. And so I actually was a Hallmark fan. And I think the popularity of those movies speaks to this big void that we need to fill with romantic movies and comedies and things that actually make you feel good.
Yeah.
Bros is an R-rated Judd Apatow movie. It's very different than a Hallmark rom-com, but still, the feeling that it gives you is not that different, really. We want to be uplifted. We want to feel hopeful about life and love. We want to laugh with each other. And it's an experience we don't get in the movie theaters very much anymore.
Absolutely. And I loved Hallmark movies and I loved this one. And they really do give you that warmth that everyone wants to see. And Billy, real fast, I know that there's a scene where your character really embraces the idea that this is, the museum is for the LGBTQ community and not everyone got to see the progress we've made in life. And, you're still standing here. Can you just tell me about what it was like filming that scene and then seeing it come to life on screen?
It was really emotional. And, our production team for this movie, led by Lisa Myers, who's wonderful and also part of the LGBTQ community, she had to build an LGBTQ museum because that's where my character works. And there really isn't much of a blueprint for it. There really is no great LGBTQ National History Museum in New York City. We have a museum about the history of railroads, but we don't have one about the history of LGBTQ folks that is readily accessible to a lot of people. And that was really moving. And it is a celebratory moment, Bros. It is historic in certain ways, but we also have to acknowledge, the people that laid the groundwork for all of this. The people the artists, the people who made the indie movies that we had, the people and the politicians, the activists, like everyone who's been out there for decades, which finally, broke enough ground that, a movie like Bros can even exist in the first place. And we also had to acknowledge the people who were not fortunate enough to be here to see it happen because society and culture evolved too slowly. So it's a time to celebrate and also say, wait, why did it take us so long to get here? And that has to be acknowledged too.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to you both. I love the film and I can't wait to see it again. So thank you for chatting.
Thank you.